I got married to Drake. It was during COVID, and they had to have a person come to my house, COVID test me, and within like 4 hours, I was on a flight, and I was there for 5 days. And honestly, Drake was like the coolest person. Like, he was listening. Like, we could be across the room, like, I'm hungry, and he'd be like, "What do you want to eat?" You couldn't pull your phone out. Like, you weren't allowed to record anything. You weren't allowed to take pictures in your dress. Nothing. And if you did, you would go home. So there was girls that like got sent home day one. Then he would take us to dinner and like lunch every single day, full bar, everything. There was girls that would get too fucked up, sent home.
Wow.
There was girls that like made
That's
fun of his
crazy.
hair, sent home. Like a girl made fun. They made fun of his hair. We're getting paid a shit ton of money, by the way.
He said, "What is it? The braids?"
And she
I'm sorry.
Man, this nigga Drake out here feeding the birds. Not surprising though, man. I ain't gonna lie, Drake do look like a trick ass nigga, man. But here's the reality, fellas. These women will tell you exactly who they are. She ain't got no shame in her game. She's now telling the whole world how much of a trick Drake is and how insecure as a man he is. Fellas, this is why you don't feed the birds, bro. These birds be talking way too much. In fact.
The amount of stuff you can get away with if you're attractive is literally so insane. And everyone talks about women pretty privilege, but no one ever talks about guy pretty privilege.
I always appreciate it when women understand the different ways that they treat different types of men. Guy pretty privilege is another word for hypergamy. So first of all, I'd like to thank her for noticing. And second of all, I have a few stories for you to try to encourage you to maybe move up a few notches if possible. But first, listen to how she understands. It's therapeutic.
I think if the unattractive guys tried to do the things that attractive guys did to girls, they would be called out for harassment.
Yeah, exactly. This girl from an old video said, "Don't catcall me unless you're attractive," and then she said it was a joke, which means it's kinda true.
But if an attractive guy did what unattractive guys did, it would be considered cute.
This is where my stories come in. I did some not very cute things that went over just fine.
I feel like attractive guys have kind of like a act like an asshole card that they could use whenever they want because they have a pretty face, and they have unlimited ways on how to hit on women without being a creep.
Yeah, you can say quite a wide range of things and it will be okay, but only as long as she feels like this about you. This is a drawing of me when I was at my most attractive and a relationship that I had during that time where I did nothing and she did more than she should have. This is a timeline of that relationship. I had a crush on this girl when I was 11, and she pretty much ignored me until after college when I lost weight and got in shape. And she sent me a suggestive message on Facebook where she saw my pictures, and we began a certain kind of relationship. And eventually, she let me know that she had been cheating on a different guy with me. And I said, "Well, that's a bad idea. You should probably either have a boyfriend or have fun, and you should pick one." And so she did. She got rid of him and said, "Now we can be together." And I said, "Well, that's not part of the deal. This guy's just gonna be me later." And she said, "Oh, darn," and continued seeing me anyway. And also, I had no money and she had money, so she paid for everything while I continued to see other girls on the side. That's how much difference this can make. If you can cross this line, you're gonna experience quite a big power differential.
Unattractive guys have to be more slow about it. They have to be more nonchalant and sneaky about hitting on a girl.
Sneaky, okay. We used to call that getting to know someone. When you're familiar with somebody, it becomes easier to create that bond. And maybe you as an individual can work your way out of it, but you can't have everyone works their way out of it. Because if they did, and everybody became more attractive, women would just reevaluate this into another one of these. There would be 80% of the guys who made it would be reevaluated into the didn't make it zone. And those guys have no choice. They have to get familiar with women first. Otherwise, they just get completely left out. And that's why the world is looking more and more like this. People don't get to know each other anymore. And if you try, women will call it sneaky. That's the one thing she said that I didn't like.
They also can't be arrogant and rude, where a lot of attractive guys get away with being rude.
That's me. I used to be rude. I was so bitter after I found out the difference between how people treat you when you move from here to here that I actually made a game out of what is the rudest thing that I can say to someone who I know already likes me before she doesn't like me anymore, and I never found it. I wrote a few of them down, but I don't feel safe showing you. I played other games too. I once met a girl on the computer. I went to her place 3 times without ever telling her my name. And then on my way out the door the 3rd time, I said, "Are you going to ever ask me my name or what?" And she said, "I didn't want to offend you." Like I was going to say, "Whoa, you're moving a little fast, aren't we?" No, I'm not encouraging any of this behavior. This is degenerate. The only reason I did it is because I was bitter, because I couldn't be liked without being likable. I didn't want to put in the work to get out of this area, and when I finally did, I still felt like this on the inside, and I said, "Oh, now it's my turn to do this to someone else." And that's not what we need more of. That kind of stuff just goes back into the dating pool and makes everybody more miserable and harder to deal with.
Now, the difference between an attractive guy and an attractive girl is like so different. An attractive girl, sometimes like they don't get guys. They get rejected because people get jealous of them, or they're really intimidated, or they're jealous. And it's just really hard to be an attractive girl. But for an attractive guy, literally it's like living on the red carpet with silver platters of opportunities handed to you constantly.
Well, not job opportunities. This was roughly my attractive era from here to here, and this was my net worth. And then I had nothing, and now I have internet money. But yeah, she's not wrong. This is an easier position in the market than this. It's easier to get what you want. Now, I wish we could get away from this app style of dating and back to the classics, but I don't know how we're gonna do that. This might even get worse. At least people are starting to get it. But for now, if you are not working on yourself, you are potentially giving up a lot of power. Just don't misuse it when you get it, or you'll eventually turn into me, but without the internet money.
This right here is a great breakdown. Fellas, all you gotta do is self-improve, bro. Being in shape makes a major difference for a man. Hitting the gym, it just allows you to walk around with an aura that's undeniable because you put the work in. And once you put the work in the gym, it's going to also help you in other aspects of your life. You're going to be more confident as a person. You're going to know your value because you wake up every day and you bust your ass and nobody can tell you shit because you know the work that you put in. And the thing about women is, like I always tell you dudes, bro, women have faces for different men. When a woman come across a dude that she's attracted to, all her morals and standards go out the door because her pussy is saying, "I want to fuck him." And most women are weak-minded. They're going to give in easily. And the only way you're going to know this is if you self-improve and elevate and hit the gym, bro. You wouldn't know this if you're out of shape. You will never experience this lifestyle if you're out of shape, bro. It's impossible. And it don't matter if you got money, because the money is cool on the surface. Yeah, you could take her shopping, you could buy her this, you could buy her that. But then when you get in the bedroom, she's going to be turned off. And she's only going to be turned on when you're spending money. But when it's time for you to get your enjoyment, that's when she's disgusted. I got to go lay with him now. I got to give him some pussy. She's going to give you missionary sex every time, bro. And when a man is in shape, when he's in his bag, when he dresses nice, he smells good, he know how to conversate with women, bro, you will now see the type of chicks that you thought that you had to take on dates and put in work in order to get. These women will come to your crib the first day they meet you. It's like night and day. And that's why some men just don't get it. because they don't experience that side of women.
Bitches in Miami, Shmurda don't buy no pussy. Get your motherfucking ass out of here. Get your ass out of here, bitch. Get the fuck out of here. That dusty pussy. We don't want none of that shit. Take your ass to the shelter. I'll be getting pussy before I even link certain bitches. I'll be like, this bitch probably so pussy. If you get some pussy for you, link the bitch.
Man, shouts to Bobby for not feeding the birds, man. Fellas, y'all already know, over here we don't feed the birds. But this right here is crazy. So, fellas, these women are what you call BBL bandits. These chicks were like a 3 or a 4, and then they decided to get a BBL to try to finesse dudes. BBL bandits, man. Be on the lookout for chicks like this, especially in Miami. That's why it don't pay to be thirsty, bro. Because if you take a good look at these chicks, just look at the BBL. Picture this chick without the BBL, bro. And without the breast implants and things like that. Think about how she's gonna look. And that's who she really is. Stop letting these BBL bandits finesse y'all dudes, man. These chicks is out here trying to finesse at 10 a.m. in the morning. They probably haven't even brushed their teeth. But they trying to sell some pussy. Look, the way Bobby handled this is how you handle a bird, fellas. Don't feed the birds. And that's just what it is.
If you haven't yet, go get you some of that merch. Y'all already know, don't feed the birds. That's what it is. We don't feed the birds over here. So if you rock with your boy, go get you some of that good merch.